organic acids. Organic acids are the products which are produced by some microorganisms. That organic acids we may be using for daily purposes. Okay, these organic acids produced by microorganisms upon their metabolism, like fermentation or growth, produced by microbes. What are the microbes? Like fungi, bacteria, they can produce. And these organic acids can be useful in pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals means preparation of medicines, drugs, like that. For the preparation of medicines and drugs, we can use that. And even for food, for coloring agents, for coloring also we can use this organic acid, and that can be used in preparation of insecticides, plastics, etc. So organic acids are acidic compounds. We can say these are carboxylic acids. Carboxylic acids which are produced by the activity of some microorganisms like bacteria and fungi. That organic acids are useful in preparation of the pharmaceutical products like medicines, drugs, food. That organic acids we can use as a food. See, pharmaceutical means in medicines we can use, that is clear. Food means some organic acids we can take as a food, or we can use in preparation of foods, like acetic acid, which is a form of vinegar. Vinegar is used in preparation of foods that contains acetic acid. Similarly, coloring agents can be made from these organic acids, even insecticides, and for the preparation of plastics also we can use that. Take example. Take example. Which organic acid is produced by which organism? That's all. Citric acid, oxalic acid are produced by a bacteria called Aspergillus niger. Aspergillus niger is a bacteria that is producing citric acid, oxalic acid, and acetic acid is an organic acid which is produced by a bacteria called Acetobacter aceti. Acetobacter aceti is a bacteria which is producing this one. And lactic acid. Lactic acid is also used in food, and in preparation of yogurts, for giving more flavor to yogurt we can use this. This is prepared by Lactobacillus, Streptococcus lacti. Lactobacillus, lactic acid bacteria are there, a group of lactic acid bacteria which is producing milk into curd. That bacteria we can use for the preparation of lactic acid. Lactic acid is produced by this. Butyric acid is produced. Butyric acid, which is a carboxylic fatty acid, that is produced by a bacterium called Clostridium butylicum. Clostridium butylicum is used for the preparation of butyric acid, and Propionibacterium is used for the preparation of propionic acid. Propionic acid is produced by Propionibacterium. Propionibacterium propionum. These are some important organic acids: citric acid, oxalic acid, acetic acid, lactic acid, butyric acid, propionic acid. And first organic acid produced is lactic acid. First organic acid which is produced by the microorganism is lactic acid. So these are some organic acids. That organic acids can be used in preparation of pharmaceutical products like that. Lactobacillus acidophilus, oxalic acid can be used as food, yeah. Used for removing stain minerals, yes. Lactobacillus acidophilus, that can also be produced. Gluconic acid, yeah, gluconic acid is also there. Gluconic acid is produced by Aspergillus niger and Penicillium strain also. Gluconic acid is produced by, I will write that one also. Gluconic acid. Gluconic acid is produced by Aspergillus niger, one bacteria, Mucor and Penicillium purpurosinum. Penicillium purpurosinum, Aspergillus niger and Mucor, they are producing gluconic acid. Some other may be there like fumaric acid and also what oxalic acid, some are also there, but important are these one. What citric acid, oxalic acid I wrote here. Citric acid is normally present in citrus fruits. Not only citrus fruits, that can be produced by the bacteria also. Where citric acid and oxalic acid are produced, you know, the citric acid and oxalic acid, they are the product of citric acid cycle. In respiration, TCA cycle. This week WBT portion is TCA cycle, glycolysis, you know. That citric acid and oxalic acid are produced as intermediates of TCA cycle. Okay, that's one. Acetic acid, which is common, mostly used. Lactic acid is produced by the fermentation of pyruvic acid in anaerobic condition. Butyric acid, propionic acid, they are organic acids which are produced by Clostridium butylicum, Propionibacterium, propionum, like that. First organic acid identified by the production in microorganisms is lactic acid. Lactic acid is the first organic acid produced by microorganisms. Then next industrial product, enzymes. In 11th syllabus we studied enzymes are biocatalysts. Biocatalyst means which can increase the rate of reaction. Rate of the reaction is increased by enzymes. That enzymes, many enzymes we can produce by culturing these microorganisms in fermentation process. That enzymes may be useful in different industries. Here, these enzymes are biocatalysts that can catalyze biochemical or biological reactions. Biological reactions are catalyzed by biocatalysts named enzymes. Biocatalysts are controlling this one. Here if you see that among the total enzymes, you know, all enzymes are proteins, right? All enzymes are proteins. Among the all enzymes found, around 1 to 1.5 enzymes are used in industry and medicine. 1 to 1.5% of total enzymes are being used in industries. Not only in industries, in medicine also. in industries, and for the treatment of diseases, we can use 1 to 1.5% of total enzymes what we found. There are many enzymes, among that many enzymes, 1 to 1.5% of total enzymes we are using in industries. In industries means what? For purification, for isolation of a substance, or in medicine means for the treatment of any metabolic disorders. Like that. I will give an example. In industries, some enzymes like a pectinase, they can be used as a cleaning agents. Renin, like that proteolytic enzymes are there which can break that protein. They are used in what? Preparation of leather preparation. We can use that. Even some enzymes like streptokinase that can be used to control heart attacks, blood clotting, like that. There are some advantages of this enzyme. Okay, see one by one. One is lipase. Lipase enzymes are there which are responsible to break lipids. What is the advantage of this lipase enzymes means? Lipases are useful in preparation of soap and detergent. Lipases are useful in the preparation of soap and detergent. That means a type of cosmetics. Soaps and detergents are produced by the lipase formulation. And in dry cleaning, for removing stains. If stains are present on cloth, that stains can be removed in dry cleaning industries by using lipase enzymes. Lipase enzymes majorly are useful in preparation of detergents and soaps, and in dry cleaning for the removal of this stains which are present on cloth. Okay, see here, what are the organisms that are producing lipases? Lipases are produced by some organisms like Candida lipolytica is a bacteria. Candida lipolytica is a bacteria that can produce a lipase enzyme. And Geotrichum candidum is a bacteria that can produce lipase. Aspergillus bacteria is also producing lipase. Mucor is also producing bacteria. That's lipase. So lipase enzymes are useful in preparation of soaps, detergents and dry cleaning industries. And the enzymes lipases are majorly produced by Candida lipolytica, Geotrichum candidum, Mucor and Aspergillus. What is this lipase enzyme? Lipase enzyme is nothing but a protein. A protein which is, I told you, all enzymes are proteins. It is a type of protein which is produced from this. Candida lipolytica will produce a protein. That protein has a lipase activity. This one also. So that lipases we can use for the formulation of these detergents like that. Which bacteria is called clot buster? Then not bacteria. There is an enzyme called streptokinase. I will explain this. Then next enzyme, protease. Proteases, they can break or digest proteins. Digest means only making again only digestive system on human. So they are responsible for hydrolysis or breakdown of protein. So proteases are there which are responsible for breakdown of this protein. These proteases are produced by Morchella, Morchella rhinospora, Aspergillus niger is also producing that protease. Aspergillus niger, Bacillus licheniformis, Bacillus subtilis, Bacillus licheniformis. These bacteria are producing protease enzymes. Protease enzymes are majorly produced by this. Some penicillin fungi also, like Penicillium roqueforti, like that, they are also producing some proteases. Penicillium roqueforti is important. What we discussed in the production of roqueforti cheese. Roqueforti cheese is produced by that Penicillium roqueforti. How that cheese is produced? By the partial digestion of the milk protein with casein. That Penicillium roqueforti is used in the preparation of what? Roqueforti cheese. During the preparation of Roqueforti cheese, this Penicillium roqueforti is producing a protease enzyme. That protease enzyme will partially digest and coagulate the casein protein so that there is formation of cheese. So these are some organisms which are producing this one. Okay. Here, how these protease enzymes are used? What are the uses of these proteases? Proteases are used for the increase of the flavor. Preparation of leather preparation or leather industries, we can write directly, and tendering meat is one advantage. Making detergent preparation, cheese preparation. Cheese also, like a Penicillium roqueforti is used for the cheese preparation, and is used in textile industry and clearing bottled fruit juices. These are major advantages or major uses of protease. See here, they are used in the preparation of leather. Leather is a product which is made from skin. From the skin, to remove the hair protein called as a keratin, we can use this protease. Keratin is a protein which is present in hair. To break that protein, this protease is used in the preparation of leather, where that keratin is removed from the skin. That is leather industry. Tendering meat means Tamil curry, curry Colombo. Yes, curry. In that meat, if it is not tender means young means it will be smooth and tasty. If it is not young, then it will be so hard. So for cooking it takes more time. That cannot be cooked well, that cannot be digested well. For that meat, if the meat is not tender, if we add protease enzymes and if we keep in fermentation for some time, that meat is made up of muscle proteins, right? That meat will be converted into a smooth form by the partial digestion of the proteins present in the meat. Muscular proteins are there, that muscular proteins are partially broken down so that meat can be converted into tender form. For the formation of detergent And cheese preparation like Penicillium roquefort, I mean, that milk protein is partially digested and coagulated, that gives cheese. Textile preparation in textiles. Okay, we can use that. Clearing bottled fruit juices. Bottled fruit juices. Fruits have many proteins. When fruit juice is made and it is bottled, that bottles may attach with some protein particles. So cleaning of that is not easy. So that for cleaning of that, we can use protease enzyme. Cleaning or clearing bottled fruit juice where protein stains are present in that bottled fruit juice. Next enzyme is pectinase. Pectinase. This pectinase breaks pectin in cell wall. Where this pectin is present? Pectin is present in cell wall of plant cells. Plant cells cell wall have bacteria. That's pectin. Which Lactobacillus acidophilus. Yeah, that is okay. Explain Penicillium roqueforti once. Hey, Penicillium roqueforti is a fungi that is used in preparation of roquefort cheese. What is meant by tendering? Tendering means that is converting into smooth form. Smooth form. This pectinase is an enzyme that breaks pectin present in cell wall. Okay. These are produced by some bacteria or some other microbes like Aspergillus niger. Aspergillus niger is producing this pectinase, and another important bacteria is there which is called as Bysocalmus fulvis. Bysocalmus fulvis. Fulvo. Yeah, fulvo. Bysocalmus fulvis or fulvo is a bacteria that is producing. What is the use of this pectinase? Used in clearing bottled fruit juices along with pectinase. Along with the pectinase, we can use along with protease. Along with protease, this pectinase is also used for the clearing the bottled fruit juices. Okay, because that fruit juices have protein, along with that there is a presence of some cell wall material like the pectin is also there in the fruit juice. To clear that pectin, we can use this. Why many people are leaving and joining? Voice is not audible. Yeah, it is audible. Voice is audible and very clear. Audible and clear, Dr. Raghavi. Yes. Right. So along with that protease, pectinase can also be used. Then another amylase. Amylase is an enzyme that breaks amylose or starch. Amylose or starch is broken down by the amylase. This amylase is produced by some bacteria like Aspergillus niger, Bacillus subtilis, like that. Produced by Bacillus subtilis, Aspergillus niger, Bacillus oryzae, Bacillus oryzae, Aspergillus niger, Aspergillus oryzae, Aspergillus oryzae, Aspergillus niger, Bacillus subtilis, even Rhizopus, oryzae, like that. These are producing amylase enzyme. Amylase enzyme is responsible for the breakdown of amylose or starch, you know. What is its use? Amylose, as it is responsible for the breakdown of that starch, used as sweetening agent. Sweetening agent, because see, starch is present means starch is a polysaccharide that has no taste. If we add amylase, amylase will fully break that amylose or starch into glucose. Glucose will become tasty, sweet. That is one advantage. Alcoholic beverage, alcohol preparation. Alcohol preparation means normally scotch. I told you preparation of brandy, beer, whiskey, rum, vodka, like that. During that fermentation, starch grain is, malt cereals are taken, I told you. That malt cereals have starch. Starch is broken down by the amylase. So amylase will convert starch into glucose. Then that glucose is fermented into alcohol, like brandy, beer, wine, like that. So it is used for the preparation of alcohol. It is used as a sweetening agent, alcohol beverage also. And it may be used in textile also. In textile. Textile means, in textile, when we are collecting the fibers of cloth, for the separation of the fibers of cloth, we can use this amylase. Amylase can be used in separation of the fibers of cloth in textile industry. That is one advantage. Then, fifth enzyme, very important enzyme, streptokinase. Streptokinase, important enzyme. This streptokinase is also called as CPA, streptokinase A or CPA. What is here? CPA stands for tissue plasminogen activator. CPA stands for tissue plasminogen activator. Okay, what is the use of this streptokinase means? It is produced by a strain of bacteria which is called as Streptococcus. Streptococcus, by genetic engineering also we can produce. By genetic engineering of Streptococcus bacteria, it is produced and used as clot burster. See, this is very important. Clot burster enzyme is tissue plasminogen activator or streptokinase, which is produced by Streptococcus. What is the function of this clot burster? Clot burster. What is clot? Blood clot is formed. When blood clot is formed, when plasminogen is not converted into active plasmin, plasminogen is inactive protein. So that should be converted into active form called as plasmin. Then that blood clotting will start. Blood coagulation you might already studied in 11th zoology. There are some intrinsic factors, extrinsic factors. intrinsic factors, extrinsic factors. Finally, they will convert prothrombin into thrombin. That thrombin will convert fibrinogen into fibrin. Activated fibrins will form a network-like structure. To that network-like structure, there is attachment of thrombocytes or platelets. That is called blood clots. What is the normal blood clotting time? What is normal blood clotting time? Blood clotting time 3 to 5 minutes. 1 to 7 minutes, no, 3 to 5 or 3 to 6. That is regular. 3 to 5 or 3 to 7, not 3 to 7, 3 to 5, 3 to 6 minutes. That is normal blood clotting time. Within that time, the blood, which is liquid form, will convert into semi-solid form. That is blood clots. But when in our body there is formation of some blood clots, blood clots may be formed due to unavailability of anticoagulants are there now. What are anticoagulants present in our body? What is anticoagulant? Someone is giving. Heparin. Yes. Yeah. Many people are giving heparin. Heparin is present. When that anticoagulant is not active, some blood clots may form in our body. If that blood clots are formed in heart valves, that leads to heart attack. If blood clots are formed in brain, that leads to hemorrhages of brain, that causes brain damage. So forming blood clots in brain or anywhere in blood vessels, that is somewhat a problematic issue. That will become a problem. Especially that may lead to heart attack also. For that treatment, this streptokinase A is added. So when streptokinase A is added, that will activate plasminogen into active plasmin, that will dilute the blood clots. Blood clot will be diluted into normal form. That is used for removing the clot from blood vessels. Used to remove clots in blood vessels which are due to myocardial infarction. Myocardial infarction. This myocardial infarction leads to heart attack, you know. Okay, that leads to heart attack. Heart attack means what we can say? Heart arrest. Arrest of heart function is heart attack. If blood vessels are closed with blood clots, then heart cannot pump the blood. That leads to stoppage of heart. That is what heart attack or the arrest of the heart. So for that treatment, we can use streptokinase A, which is clot buster enzyme that is produced by Streptococcus bacteria. Very important, this one. Then renin, 6th enzyme. Renin is a proteolytic enzyme, you know, that breaks protein. This renin is produced by mucar, which is used in preparation of cheese. By mucar and used in preparation of cheese. In cheese preparation, we can use renin. Renin, which is also called as rennet. Rennet or renin, both are same. Then lactase. Lactase is an enzyme used to convert lactose into lactic acid. that converts lactose to lactic acid, and it is produced by Streptococcus fragalis. Streptococcus fragalis is a microbe which is producing lactase enzyme. Glucose isomerase. This glucose isomerase is produced by majority of organisms, and it is used as artificial sweetener. Artificial sweetener is glucose isomerase. See, lactase is enzyme which is used to convert lactose into lactic acid by Streptococcus fragalis. Streptococcus fragalis is used for that. Okay. See here how this one glucose isomerase is used as artificial sweetener. What is artificial sweetener? Which increases the sweetness artificially. Normally, glucose isomerase is an enzyme that converts glucose into fructose. Glucose isomerase. Glucose isomerase, second reaction of glycolysis. First, glucose converted into glucose 6-phosphate. Then, glucose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate, where glucose is converted into fructose. So, by the action of isomerase, glucose, that is converted into fructose. If you see the sweetness, glucose has less sweetness and fructose has more sweetness. What is the sweetest sugar? Sweetest sugar is fructose, but glucose has less sweetness. As sucrose is the sweetest sugar, glucose isomerase can convert glucose into fructose. So fructose will give more sweetness. That is what artificial sweetener. Artificial sweetener. Okay, these are major enzymes which are produced by microorganisms and their uses. Then, see vitamins. Next category. Vitamins. What are vitamins? Vitamins, vitamins are organic nutrients which are required for the health of normal individual. That normal persons need vitamins for the health, where the absence of vitamins leads to some deficiency disorders. Absence of vitamins leads to deficiency disorders or metabolic disorders will develop. So the vitamins are needed to taken normally. If vitamins are not taken normally, that leads to some deficiency disorders. There are many vitamins. Vitamins are broadly divided into fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins include A, D, E, K, and water soluble vitamins include B complex and C vitamins. So each and every one. Say, suppose what came? Wait 1 second. Why documents are posting in middle of the class? Hey, don't open WhatsApp. When class is going on, if any teacher is posting any document, don't open WhatsApp until the completion of the class. Remember that. Okay. See, these vitamins are organic nutrients which are produced by some bacteria or some microbes. So each and every vitamin, vitamin A is called as retinol. If vitamin A, retinol is deficient, that leads to night blindness, D is ergosterol calciferol. If that vitamin D is deficient, that leads to rickets. Like that, many vitamins are there. That vitamins are grown by these microbes. These are essential for growth and metabolism. Vitamins are required for growth and metabolism. For proper growth and metabolism, there is a need of vitamins. That vitamins which are produced by what microbes during fermentation. We can produce first vitamin by fermentation is vitamin C. Vitamin C is the first enzyme which is produced by the microbes upon the fermentation of the microbe. Okay, there is some other vitamins also. Later, vitamin B12 and vitamin B2 also produced from the microorganisms. These are the only 3 vitamins that can be produced by microorganisms. Remaining vitamins will be produced by plants. You know, vitamins are majorly produced by plants, but some microbes like bacteria can produce these vitamins. Usually, vitamins are produced by plants. So, vitamins are rich in plant diet. But bacteria, microbe can produce only 3 vitamins. Only 3 vitamins are produced. Okay, vitamin B12, which is called as cyanocobalamin, you know. Vitamin B2, which is called as riboflavin. They can be produced by microorganisms by that genetical modification, like what biotechnology. See one by one. A, vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is called as cobalamin. There are different forms of vitamin B12 again. Cyanocobalamin, oxycobalamin, methanocobalamin, like that. Anyway, vitamin B12 is called as cobalamin. If the cobalamin has a cyanide group, then it is called as vitamin B12 cyanocobalamin. If oxygen is attached to cobalamin, then it is called as oxycobalamin. That is also vitamin B12 only. Okay, this is first commercial fermentation products. First commercial fermentation product of vitamin. It is the first commercially fermented vitamin, which is called as vitamin B12. Here it is produced by fermentation of a bacteria Streptomyces. Streptomyces, especially what we are producing for streptomycin. Fermentation of streptomycin. Streptomycin is produced by streptomycin. And acetic or acetone butanol fermentation. By fermentation of streptomycin and acetone butanol fermentation, we can produce vitamin B12. Normally at initial stages it is produced, but later it is produced by some microorganisms. Normally, by fermenting the streptomycin, we can produce vitamin B12. By fermenting acetone butanol, we can produce vitamin B12. But later, some microbial strains are used for the production of this one, like Propionobacterium shermani, Propionobacterium shermani. Lactobacillus. During the curd preparation, I told you, during the preparation of curd, there is formation of a byproduct called vitamin B12. During the curd preparation, we can produce that. Propionobacterium shermani, Bacillus bacteria, Bacillus subtilis, Lactobacillus we can use for this, and Streptomyces we can use. Streptomyces bacteria we can use. Pseudomonas also we can use. Streptomyces oleus, O-L-I-E-A-U-S. Streptomyces oleus. Pseudomonas denitrificans. Pseudomonas denitrificans. Propionibacterium shermani, Lactobacillus, Pseudomonas denitrificans, and Bacillus Streptomyces oleaceus. Like that, we can use these bacteria. These bacteria we can ferment and produce vitamin B12. So vitamin B12, what is used? Vitamin B12 is, what is the function? Vitamin B12 deficiency leads to a type of anemia called pernicious anemia. This is anti-pernicious anemic factor. It is working against anti-pernicious anemia. So it is anti-pernicious anemia factor. Anti-pernicious anemia factor. Vitamin B12. If a person is suffering with vitamin B12, then we can produce this vitamin B12 by using these microbes, and that vitamin B12 is used for the treatment of this anti-pernicious anemic factor. Then vitamin B2. What is vitamin B2? Vitamin B2 is also called riboflavin. Riboflavin. This riboflavin is produced by some fermentation of microorganisms. ASSBHYA, Ashbia gossypi. Ashbia gossypi, which is a fungi. And other microorganisms also used, like Clostridium botulism, Clostridium acetobutylicum, Clostridium acetobutylicum, that can also use butylicum. And Clostridium butyricum also is used for the preparation of vitamin B12. Clostridium butyricum. There is another bacteria, that is Ermothecium. Erimothecium Vitamin C. Vitamin C is also called ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid is also called what? Anti-scorbutic factor, you know, that prevents and that can be used for the treatment or for curing the scurvy disease. This ascorbic acid is produced by a bacteria called Acetobacter. Acetobacter is a bacteria that is producing vitamin C or ascorbic acid. So these are three important vitamins what we discussed till now. What are that? Three important vitamins are vitamin B12, which is called as cyanocobalamin, that is used for the treatment of pernicious anemia, and vitamin B2, which is also called as riboflavin. Okay, that is used for treatment of glossitis, like that. Vitamin B2 riboflavin deficiency leads to glossitis, and this vitamin C deficiency leads to scurvy. So these are three important vitamins. Then vaccines. Microorganisms are also used in preparation of vaccines. Here, how that vaccines are prepared? See, what is vaccine? Deadly preparation. Deadly preparation of microbe is called vaccine. Deadly preparation. How we can prepare that? Normally, a pathogen we can take. That the pathogen has two properties, you know. What are the two properties? One is antigenicity. Second one is pathogenicity. What is antigenicity? Antigenicity means its ability to develop immunity. Antigenicity is a capacity of a pathogen or antigen that can induce the development of immunity, that can induce the formation of antibodies. That is antigenicity. Pathogenicity means immunity developing capacity is called as antigenicity, and disease causing capacity is called as pathogenicity. See here, in vaccines, the pathogenicity is removed, okay, by heat killing pathogenic nature is removed. The pathogenic nature of any microbe can be killed by heat killing, so that it will lose its disease causing capacity, and now it has only antigenic capacity or immunogenic capacity only present. As immunogenic capacity is only present, that can develop immunity. That means it will produce antibodies in our body. So we will get immunity. But disease causing capacity is removed, so that we will not get disease. Disease will not be affected, but we will get immunity. And these can be prepared by rDNA technology also. rDNA technology means by genetic engineering also we can produce this. Example to vaccine is hepatitis B vaccine. Hepatitis B vaccine, which is proliferation or enlargement of that hepatitis or liver is taking place. In response to that hepatitis B virus, we can develop a vaccine that can control hepatitis B. Okay, this is a vaccine. And one more is there, one more product. Like alcohols are produced. Alcohol. In previous class, we discussed already production of alcoholic beverages by using microorganisms. What are alcoholic beverages? I told you distilled beverages like whiskey, brandy, gin, rum, vodka, Fenny, they are alcoholic beverages. Undistilled alcoholic beverages include wine and what? Beer. They are undistilled alcoholic beverages. See here, these microbes what we are using here, they are used to produce ethanol. They are used to produce ethyl alcohol upon fermentation. How they are produced means by fermentation by brewer's yeast. What is that brewer's yeast? Saccharomyces cerevisiae. That yeast is used for the fermentation of glucose into ethyl alcohol. In that respiration plants you might study. Now only we are studying that respiration plants. How that glucose is fermented? Glucose is first converted into pyruvic acid. Then pyruvic acid, based on the availability of oxygen, that will enter TCA cycle. Otherwise, that will enter the formation of ethyl alcohol or lactic acid. Okay. See here, that ethyl alcohol is produced by the Saccharomyces cerevisiae upon anaerobic fermentation. Okay. There is another microorganism like Zymomonas nobilis. Zymomonas nobilis is another organism microbe that is used for the production of ethyl alcohol from the glucose. Okay, these are some important industrial products that are produced by the fermentation using microorganisms. Some more industrial products are there. If some more time I will take, then it may complete. Otherwise, I think JEE students, you are waiting to join for another section, CPD sir meeting, and chemistry faculty may also be waiting.